Boundaries aren't that hard to define because we all have them, right? You're standing too close, or I don't like what you're doing, or please be more kind, or whatever those things are that we have for boundaries. In a relationship, and especially if it's a professional relationship, boundaries sometimes be kind of cloudy because when something's happening that we don't like, we don't know what to do, right? Well, boundaries are actually described this way. It's a boundary is to protect me. Most of us want that person to stop when we talk about a boundary because we want them to stop harming us or doing what they're doing because it's not right, right? But in reality, are we able to control anyone else? No. So a boundary is our fence to keep what we want inside our fence, and we want them to stay outside. And if they open the gate and come in the fence, we're like, that's a boundary. You need to be over there, right? So we push them away and we have them in outside the fence and we close the gate, right? And so subsequently, since a boundary is a fence, we stay inside our boundary. In other words, we don't care what they do when they're over there, but if we are in a place where things are happening that we don't like, we simply remove ourselves, or we inform them that we won't be around if they continue to break that boundary. Instead of trying to get someone to stop, we just have a fence where we just stay in our space, right? Like when I'm in a group of individuals that begin to talk about topics that are things that I'm not interested in because it's negative or whatever you would say about it, I'm not going to participate. And often I'll just kind of move on and I'll come back to the conversation later. I may say something to them, but my boundary is I don't want to talk about those kind of things because it's negative. It creates drama and there's things that just are unimportant to talk about. So that's my boundary. Or I just don't participate. When someone is doing something like talking about someone, I'll say, no, thank you, let's don't do that because it's my boundary. And again, this is about understanding that I'm protecting myself. Now, I do want to inform them that if they continue that process, if they're harming me or doing something that I don't like, that I can just simply walk away or do something about the relationship, like maybe not be with them for a while or whatever that I need to do to protect myself. But a boundary is me not insisting that they do something. A boundary is telling them that I'm going to do something if they continue to behave the way that they are behaving. It's not that hard. If you try to get them to change, obviously that's not going to work. So a boundary is you protecting yourself. I love you. I'm Dan Clark.